Alright, the next thing that I have for you guys is going to be two trailers, specifically two of which that are going to be about some major animated features coming out in 2017. One from DreamWorks Animation and another from Illumination. And the result that came out of it is actually rather interesting. And beforehand, before I get into both of them at the same time, allow me to go into them individually, and I'll start things off with the one from DreamWorks, which is the Boss Baby. And honestly, I have been waiting for this trailer for a while now, because the thing is, if you guys remember back the first time I talked about the Boss Baby and the trailer that it released, I was immensely unimpressed. Like, honestly, for me, that trailer tells me that the biggest selling point is apparently Alec Baldwin is a baby. And literally, that's it. I mean, there isn't necessarily even a point to why this would be an animated feature, and this feels like it would be more in the veins of something like 9 Lives, where the cheap marketing ploy would be that, oh, where Kevin Spacey is a cat, Alec Baldwin is being his Alec Baldwin self, like how he is in 30 Rock or SNL when he's impersonating Donald Trump, but this time he is a baby. And literally, that's it. So I wanted to give this movie the benefit of a doubt, and I feel like there should be at least more to what we got in that trailer. And what we have, well, I'll give it this. They did deliver a lot more than they did in the previous trailer. What is actually interesting to note is that last time in the first trailer, it looked like the main character would be the kid of the family, where apparently it's going to be more about his story and his perspective when the Alec Baldwin came into the scene and all that kind of stuff, and where we pretty much end off at the peak where he discovers that apparently the baby can talk and he has this whole corporation and stuff like that. But in here, it looks like it's going to be more the Alec Baldwin baby that's going to be the star of this movie from the beginning to the end. Because here's the story that we got from this trailer. Now, apparently, the Alec Baldwin baby runs this big corporation that's, well, run by babies. And so far, his company is actually really collapsing. Because in terms of the cuteness factor, people are focusing a lot less on babies and a lot more on puppies. And with that, I guess what's going on is that babies are becoming more like actual babies. And with that, the Alec Baldwin baby ends up being adopted into a real home, where apparently, like, that's where we get the scenarios from the first trailer. But the relationship between the kid and the baby is now a lot more revealed, where now the kid has to work with the Alec Baldwin baby in order to go and save his corporation from being destroyed by puppies. And we also get introduced to many of the other characters as well, which specifically we see more of the Alec Baldwin baby staff. Like, we see like his secretary who doesn't know how to read. We got this big baby called Jimbo, and we got some triplets as well. And that's mostly his staff in which he talks to. And even though, yes, this trailer is showing a lot more substance into what this movie could potentially deliver, honestly, this is not impressing me. Like, I'm still rather unamused by what this movie could potentially turn out to be. It's not going to be the worst animated film. I don't even think this could even be one of the worst DreamWorks films, but it'll definitely be one of the weaker ones for sure. Because honestly, like, the humor that it's trying to deliver, honestly, it's not really effective for me. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like so far with this trailer, they're trying to emphasize on the baby factor. And really, it's all about, like, mixing humor with cute babies. That's pretty much the whole goal with the Boss Baby. And honestly, I don't know if I can really get down to it. Like, there was only one time in this whole trailer that did actually make me chuckle, or it actually legitimately made me laugh. It was when, oh, excuse me about that, folks. But anyways, as I was saying, the only time that did make me laugh was when the Alec Baldwin baby, apparently he has to go undercover and he disguises himself as a puppy. And he goes into it going, it's like, oh God, this is so humiliating. And then you see another dog that's just sniffing the Alec Baldwin baby's butt. And just his reaction actually did make me laugh. But other than that, the humor is not really that effective for me. I don't know if it's really going to be a knockout selling point for this film. But at the same time, another thing that really did turn me off is actually the story. And I feel like in this, it is way too freaking predictable, especially with the relationship between the kid and the Alec Baldwin baby. Because you can definitely tell what's going to be happening. At first, the kid and the Alec Baldwin baby, they're not going well. Their relationship is not all that great. But then apparently, like with this whole partnership that they have to do in order to save Alec Baldwin baby's corporation, they got to go work together and make it seem like, oh, they're getting along and stuff like that, which I think we all know that at the end, the outcome will be that, oh, they can get along together, and maybe the Alec Baldwin baby won't be going away. He's going to stay with the family. Like, you could definitely tell that's the outcome of this movie, hands down. I mean, I feel like this is just predictable, and I don't know. So far, I'm not really sold into that. I mean, the only thing that could save it is going to be the relationship. Well, not the relationship, but I mean more the character, the actual characters of the kid himself and the Alec Baldwin baby. If they can actually manage to deliver really likable characters, then maybe this relationship could actually work, regardless if the plot is a little too obvious or not. But other than that, like, I really don't feel like there's a bonding, well, not a bonding, but I don't really feel like there's a connection. I'm not 100% sure if the kid or the Alec Baldwin baby will actually be likable characters. It's just, I don't know, like, I feel like it wants to have, like, this is the kind of film that really wants to have a lot of heart, but I'm not sure if I'm fully sold into that. So, honestly, I don't know. This is not really turning me on so far. Okay, well, I don't really mean it like that, but what I mean is that I'm not necessarily sure if I'm sold to this idea. Like, maybe it has a lot more secrets that we don't know. Like, the one thing that I do hope that they can look upon a lot more is if the movie would be focusing more regarding the Boss Baby's corporation. If they can open up a lot more to that world, then maybe it can deliver something that's a lot more promising. But other than that, I don't really see much onto how this is going to be fantastic. I don't really see how this is really that big of a deal of a DreamWorks movie. It's just, I don't know. I'm not completely sold on this. So, who knows how this could actually turn out. But then we have the other trailer. And I just want to start off by saying that so far, when it comes to the animated films, oh, sorry. It looks like a bunch of mucus has been building up onto my throat. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, as I was saying, that so far, when it comes to the animated films of 2017, there really isn't much that I am fully sold onto. Like, so far, there isn't an animated film in which I really am anticipated for, or that I'm really excited for, to be very honest. I mean, sure, I can guess that a lot of people are probably excited for the Lego Batman movie, but even at that, like, yeah, sure, it looks fun, it looks enjoyable, and there's a good chance it could be good, but it looks like we're pretty much gonna get the same thing with the Lego movie, but as a Batman parody. You know, that's all we're gonna get. But so far, there is actually one that I am now legitimately excited for. Like, this trailer came up, and honestly, I was worried if this is going to be the one that could break the franchise or, like, kill it off. But now I'm actually pretty confident that this could actually turn out to be a fantastic film. And honestly, I'm really excited for it. And I'm talking, of course, about the first trailer of Despicable Me 3. Now, so far, in terms of the story, We don't really have a lot in this. We don't really know what's going to be going on in terms of the story. Like, they didn't really disclose that. The big thing that this commercial advertised was on the new villain and the action, I would say. That's mostly the two big things that they delivered, is the new villain and the action that we got. And my god, with this new villain that they got, Balthazar Brat, he is amazing. He is absolutely hilarious. If you guys don't know who he is played by Trey Parker, one of the co-creators of South Park. And he's best described as a full-on 80s supervillain. Like, he is entirely themed of 80s. He has this ugly-looking mullet. He's dressed entirely like Michael Jackson, on top of copying his moves. And also, like, his weaponry is entirely themed of 80s, where he always has bubble gum, in which, like, it can completely expand. He also has an exploding Rubik's Cube, and, like, his weapon that he would hold on his hand would actually be a keytar. And oh my god, just by seeing this trailer, I kid you not, this is the kind of character that I can assure you guys that no matter who worked on this guy, rather it be Trey Parker on the voice, rather it be the directors, rather it be whichever animator who worked on him, like, they must have had such a total blast. Like, this guy is just absolutely fun to watch. He's just so hilarious, and oh my god, like, this is just, he's just fantastic to look at, and just to see his weaponry as a villain. Like, we have yet to see, like, his background story. We have yet to see, like, the character himself, how he's going to be in general. But so far, I am really loving this villain. He just seems, like, conceptually and execution-wise, he just seems absolutely fantastic and absolutely hilarious. But at the same time, you also got the humor and the action, which, that's actually another thing I forgot that this movie delivered, is actually on the humor as well. But in terms of the action, you do get a lot more of, like, more of what Balthazar Brat can do when he goes around trying to steal this diamond on a ship, and suddenly with his bubblegum, he actually makes the ship flying, surprisingly enough. But then we also see like, Gru and Lucy trying to go out and stop him. Like, we see a bit more of their weaponry, and, like, all the different ways to see how they fight against villains and stuff like that. But then my favorite part, and honestly, I have never laughed at at a joke from a trailer in so long, but this is one of the funniest things that I've seen. Oh my god, it is so amazing. It is when Gru, like, he was facing Balthazar, and then suddenly, like, he uses his keytar to create, like, giant sound waves to blow off Gru from the ship. But what ended up happening, it just blew off all of his clothes, and Gru, like, suddenly flew off, but he managed to land on some bubblegum, and then, like, now he's just dangling from the ship, like, only wearing nothing but, like, that bubblegum. And then, like, he passes through this building where apparently they're throwing this birthday party, and all Gru can do is just join in, and he's just there, like, in the middle going, "Happy birthday, dear Dan! Happy birthday to you!" Oh my god, it is so hilarious. I loved it. It is so freaking funny, I swear to God. Oh, yeah. Oh, but there is actually another thing that, speaking of that part, what is actually surprising to note is that the minions only appeared right at the end, after that great joke appeared. So the minions are just there, and then suddenly, they would throw this major big, like, DJ party, and that's it. Which is actually very interesting, because if you remember in the trailers of Despicable Me 2, the Minions were heavily advertised. Like, you could tell that the Minions played a key factor onto the whole Despicable Me 2 movie. But that is actually more into the marketing. It's actually quite debatable if, in Despicable Me 2, if the Minions really did have this major role or not. But I know that they played a key part, at least into the marketing. But it's surprising that in here, that they don't have that big of a role. They just only appeared in the end because it is a Despicable Me movie, and you cannot make a Despicable Me movie without having the Minions. Maybe we did get a massive overdose with the Minions movie back in 2015. But what we got in here, like, maybe they will tone down the Minions, which I think a lot of people will be relieved with. But yeah, overall, I would definitely say that I am absolutely excited for the Despicable Me movie. The Despicable Me 3 movie. This trailer absolutely sold it for me. And yeah, and if we do have to compare the two, hands down, I'm a lot more excited for Despicable Me 3. In fact, honestly, that would actually make an interesting debate, because honestly, I've been thinking about this for a while, because the thing is, with the Boss Baby, it's not going to be alone, because technically, like, when the Boss Baby will be released, the week after, it's actually going to be Sony's Smurfs: The Lost Village. So we might actually have this giant clash between two animated features. Who knows which one is going to be the best so far, but I think, honestly, even for me, I would say that I'm probably more sold on the Smurfs, because I know that that one will actually sell me on something that could be more visually pleasing than on the Boss Baby. Oh my god, what the fridge am I talking about? Me apparently, like, I just realized, wait a minute. Oh, sorry about that. I just noticed that, wait a minute, I'm saying that apparently a Sony movie might deliver on something that's more visually pleasing than a DreamWorks movie. What the fridge is going on? No, but actually, let me know what you think, guys. Like, in terms of those two movies, which ones do you think are more... Well, which one do you think you're more anticipated for? Are you more excited for The Boss Baby or Smurfs: The Lost Village when it's going to be coming out? Like, when those two films will be in theaters, and if you only had one choice to pick, which one are you going to go see? But at the same time, I also want to ask you guys, which one are you excited for? Which one do you think is actually the better trailer that we got? Despicable Me 3 or The Boss Baby? I'll let you guys decide, but for me, hands down, the big winner is going to be Despicable Me 3. But if you want to know which of these movies are going to be released, well, The Boss Baby is going to be coming out first on March 31st, while Despicable Me 3 is going to be coming out somewhere in the beginning or in the middle of, where was it? The middle of, somewhere in the summer of 2017.